It was just an ordinary evening in Los Angeles when news broke that George Clooney, icon, humanitarian, and beloved actor, had suffered a sudden and terrifying medical collapse. Within minutes, he was rushed to the emergency room, and panic swept not only through Hollywood but across the world. This was no simple fall or moment of dizziness. Eyewitness accounts described the scene as chaotic and tragic, with George reportedly losing consciousness before medics arrived on the scene. Paramedics worked quickly, administering aid while Amal Clooney was contacted immediately. What was supposed to be a quiet evening became one of the most dramatic medical emergencies Hollywood has seen in years. George Clooney, a man often viewed as larger than life, was now clinging to stability in an ICU room as cameras, reporters, and fans gathered outside in disbelief. As images surfaced of Amal Clooney arriving at the hospital, her face pale, eyes swollen from crying, visibly shaken, the gravity of the situation became even more real. Known for her grace and poise, Amal's vulnerability was clear to everyone. She did not offer any public statement at first. Her sole focus was on George. But it was what happened a few hours later that truly shook the world. After spending time by George's bedside and speaking with medical staff, Amal emerged to deliver a short but emotional statement that no one was prepared for. Her words, cracked with emotion, echoed the depth of her pain and fear. "I never imagined watching the person I love most fight for his life so suddenly. George is my world. Please pray for him." The news of George Clooney's emergency collapse spread through Hollywood like wildfire. Actors, directors, and even political figures expressed concern. Close friends like Julia Roberts, Brad Pitt, and Don Cheadle reportedly rushed to the hospital or sent immediate messages of support to Amal. Social media was instantly flooded with emotional tributes, prayers, and memories from fans who couldn't imagine the film industry without the charming, witty presence of Clooney. Insiders have started piecing together what might have contributed to George Clooney's unexpected collapse. It appears he had been ignoring signs for weeks: chronic fatigue, low appetite, occasional dizzy spells. Clooney, known for pushing himself to the limits for both his film career and humanitarian work, reportedly brushed off these symptoms, believing he could rest later. Friends say he had recently been working on multiple film projects while simultaneously attending global charity events and traveling frequently. It's no secret Clooney has long pushed his limits. But this time, his body couldn't keep up. Doctors have been cautious with statements, but sources close to the medical team suggest that George experienced a severe neurological episode, possibly related to extreme exhaustion or an undiagnosed condition. Amal's devastating confession to friends. In a moment of rare vulnerability, Amal Clooney confided in close friends about how unprepared she was for this crisis. She reportedly said, "I've stood up to presidents, dictators, and war criminals. But nothing terrifies me like the idea of losing George." The couple's twins, Ella and Alexander, have reportedly been shielded from the chaos as much as possible. Amal has arranged for trusted relatives to care for them while she remains at George's side day and night. Still, the emotional toll on the family is immense. George is a doting father, and the fear of what might happen next is something no child, no partner, and no fan can easily forget. George Clooney's emergency has sparked deeper conversations about mental and physical health, about the cost of overworking, and about how even the strongest and most admired among us are still human. His collapse is being seen by many not just as a tragedy, but a cautionary tale. Online communities have begun using the hashtag pause for Clooney to encourage people to take a moment for their own health, to reach out to loved ones, and to reflect on the fragility of life. The situation has united millions in empathy and reflection, showing just how impactful one man's life has been. Will George recover? Hope amid the fear. As of the latest reports, George Clooney remains in critical but stable condition. Doctors are hopeful but not making promises. Amal has stayed largely out of the public eye since her tearful statement, but insiders say she is not giving up. Her legal background, her strength, and most importantly, her deep love for George are helping her remain focused. While recovery is still uncertain, one thing is crystal clear: George Clooney is not facing this battle alone. The world is behind him, cheering, praying, and hoping for a miracle. This is not just a story about a celebrity. It's a story about love, fragility, and the reminder that life can change in a single moment. If you care about George and Amal Clooney, and want to be part of this unfolding story of hope, pain, and resilience, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment. We'll be following this story closely and bringing you only the most heartfelt and accurate updates. Let's all continue to pray for George Clooney's healing and for strength for Amal as she faces this unimaginable challenge. Share your thoughts and messages of support in the comments.